Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I have half a face on and half a face off, and what I wanted to do is create this side on this side, but what I want to do is do it in a way with techniques that make you look older. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking older. However, I get a lot of messages saying my makeup is making me look older. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Well, we can fix that. There are certain ways makeup is applied that gives the impression of an older face. So that's what I'm going to go through with you today. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life, and it's my goal to help you become a pro yourself or just someone who's really good at makeup. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then do please consider subscribing. So we're going to start with a bit of eyeshadow first. I'm actually using a bronzer for my eyeshadow today, or what I do. This is all the new Colourpop bronzers. They are stunning. So I'm going to do this on the other side. And one of the main things around the eyes that can make you look a little bit older is darkening the inside area here. When we think of being tired, or we think of being exhausted, or we think of older age, we think of some signs of that is this area hollowing out a little bit. So something that people are doing a lot of the time to make themselves appear older by accident is taking their eyeshadow too close and too high up in this area here. Can you see how it immediately hollows out that whole area, and we just get this kind of like deep hollowed out eye? Even with like a natural color, it's a little bit too much. And I see people blend like this as well with kind of like no precision or definition. Whereas you can see in this eye, I've kept all my darker shades to the outer edge, and I've almost stopped any darkness from what's wrong with my lash? Why is it like a solid line? I've almost stopped any deep color coming in any further than halfway or 3/4 of a way across here. I've kept everything in here nice and bright and light, or just your skin tone. If I'm to use the colors that I've used on the other side, it's gonna add even more to that hollowed out dark depth. So precision, definition, where you want to apply your eyeshadow. Next, let's talk about eyeshadow in this area here. If you can see on this side of my eyeshadow is very much following this line like this, and nothing dips below this corner of my eye. Even my lashes are straight out this way. So if we're bringing eyeshadow below the eye like this, you're automatically dragging your eye down. I'm doing this in quite a dramatic way so you can see. You're bringing your eye shape downwards. So it's not lifted, it's not anything, it's not even straight out. You don't have to go crazy and lift the outside corner of your eye. But I always like to imagine this invisible line like this. You can see how far below the eyeshadow is. This invisible line going from the corner of my eye, perhaps to the corner of your brow, or even just up in this way. And I don't go past that line. I keep it nice and lifted. If I do, then I bring out the bottom here like this. However, this is going to make us look a little bit more tired. Our eyes are going to sag down a little bit more. It's not the best look. For me, liner is a big kind of like yes/no area. I have seen 15-year-olds do this eyeliner technique and age themselves by decades. And I've talked about this a few times, it's the solid black line around the eyes. So people will take a liquid liner and they'll do this, and they'll also do a line on top as well, like so. Now this is one of the most horrendous eyeliner techniques, because just look how awful it makes my eye look. It looks terrible. There's something about it that makes this inside area look like fleshy, almost like it's spilling over, and it gives this really like sagging eye. It's just the worst, and I don't know what it is, but it just immediately ages you. I just think it's awful. When I'm doing some kind of definition on the eyes around anyone of any age, I always buff out underneath with eyeshadow, or I buff out a pencil, or buff something out nice and smoky and defined as well. Nice and smoky and light and buffed out and blended. It just doesn't give this harsh finish. This reminds me of like the early days of terrible tattooed on makeup that just nobody knew how to do it, and it's permanent, and it just something about solid harsh lines unless it's a really nice winged outliner, it's not complimentary to anyone. But liquid liner or solid pencil line that you're not buffing out or blending under the eye is aging you. I don't know how, but it does it. Okay, let's talk about lashes. Now, when we think about youth and things like that, we think of like an abundance of hair, lots and lots of hair, and we associate hair loss with aging. Bald men, you know? One thing that I see a lot is clumpy lashes, and I mean lashes that have so many coats of mascara that they look like there's like 2 or 3 lashes, giving the impression you only have 2 or 3 lashes. Now this, like this. So this can come from using just the tip of a brush. I've seen some people apply their mascara like this, which is great if you want like a clumped together look, or not combing through your lashes properly in general. It just gives like, I have mascara on my bottom lashes here, and you can see very like fine little lashes, whereas this just gives off like clump, and you don't have any lashes left and they're slowly falling out. One thing to be very wary of as well is if you have fairer lashes, that you're not leaving that gap between the base of your lash and the actual mascara, because you get this white line, and again it gives off like lashes are going. Okay, let's move on to skin. Something that is particularly aging on anyone is using a foundation that is too pale for you. Now, it doesn't mean go and use one darker. Get your skin tone and bronze up if you want to be deeper. But using a foundation that's too pale gives off this almost like ghostly kind of tone. And not because it's pale. There are pale people, but what the skin tone won't do is match all the areas where you aren't that skin tone. For example, your ears, your lips, your neck, and then it's very obviously pale. If you were to cover the whole of your skin, showing skin, with a paler shade, then sure, maybe you can get away with it. But it is very obvious when a really pale foundation isn't your skin tone. There's a huge dead giveaway, and same with a darker one. Just look. It's obvious it's not my skin tone. It's obvious that it's the wrong shade. My hands don't match, my neck doesn't match, my ear doesn't match. You may be thinking, you know what, let's add some bronzer. Sure, why not? And here's where we're going to add it to this side of her face. You can see where I've put it on this side. It's all kind of lifted up. That needs to be blended in a bit more. You can see where I've put on this side of her face. It's kind of lifted. It's in this area. Even though I do have a longer face, I will always wrap it around here a little bit to cut off underneath the apples of my cheek. You know I hate this technique. The apples of her cheeks, smiling, and just doing it anywhere. Very old-fashioned. So if you are a little bit older and you have quite heavy set, kind of like jowls or a heavy set cheek, this is only going to accentuate it because you're darkening this area here. This area is going to look lighter and this area is going to look lighter. So you're going to get this sagging motion. We all know somebody who does this and it just doesn't look right. It looks like you're doing this. And this isn't just like an off-the-moment thing. This has always been more complimentary in terms of blush, in terms of placement. You can absolutely do this if perhaps you have an extremely longer face, but don't take it all the way up here. You just tap a tiny bit and almost like on the cusp of the apples of the cheek. I wouldn't take it up here either. But remember with blush, contour and everything, around this area, we have this comparison of light. So we're pushing in this, we're making our faces look a little bit gaunt. It's just, yeah. Something that can really, really age you is a solid line around your lip with a lip liner that is extremely, extremely dark in comparison to your lip color. It's cool if you're gonna, use a dark lip color on your lip, and it's cool if you're doing like a particular look, just not this look. Like this. And people might be like, that's ridiculous. I have seen it. And then they'll go in with like a bright pink or something like that. Let me show you what I would prefer on myself. Let's do it with the same lip liner so you can get an idea. I'm going to go in very light-handed on my actual lip shape. I'm then going to shade in its outside corner. I'm just going to blend it in a tiny little bit around these edges so it's faded. So by shading in these outside corners and leaving the middle lighter, we're getting kind of like a natural boost in volume. I've added a lipstick and I'm just going to gently, again, brush in on these outside corners so I get that fade. Would I necessarily choose this color combination? Not really. But I just want to show you that you can do like a Jurassic, not two kind of different tones and make them work for each other. This kind of jagged line where we've just put on the lip color, it just doesn't work. And even when we try to overdraw it and you can just see your lip underneath, yeah, it's really not. Okay, let's talk about lashes. I just want to stick this one on. As I mentioned earlier, you can see with this lash that it sticks straight out like this, or I would stick it up like this. What you don't want to do with your lashes is have the curve on your lash droop down further than that invisible line we were talking about. Because again, what that does is it brings down your eye as opposed to bring it up or straight out. Oh no, I've done the wrong lip on the wrong side. I just realized. I'll have to change that around. Why do I do this? Okay, I'm back and better than ever. Okay, so these are makeup techniques that make you a little bit older. I'm just gonna cover half my face here. It's mainly about precision, definition, application, and kind of like harsh lines, I guess. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, do leave them below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Please consider subscribing, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you very soon. Bye.